Okay, welcome. Hannah and I are at House of Fire right now, our studio in Kalapana, Hawaii, the Big Island. And we have behind us and all around us, we have over 65 local artists we represent in here. Hannah and I do the pottery in here, and then Hannah's boyfriend Joel is a glass worker also, who is our other partner. And we are here today because Hannah and I are going to just discuss a little bit about our backgrounds in doing clay work.
Yeah, obviously has been doing this a little bit longer than I have. It all started back when I was very little, and that was in 2000,
It is.
year 2000.
It is. I fell in love with pottery in high school. Got to throw on the wheel there, and it made a big impression on me, although I went through the years and became a pen and ink artist for many, many years, doing stippling and wildlife. Really loved doing that, but I eventually, in 2000, decided to buy that first kick wheel because the community college was deciding to have a sale on their kick wheels, so I went ahead and bought one, and from there on took over the garage and filled it with glazing and chemicals and kilns and clay messes everywhere, and that's where we got started at. So that's when Hannah and I started really getting up to the elbows in clay, and it was super fun, super fun. But I didn't know it was going to evolve into what it became.
Yeah, I think I started making castles, one of the first like big projects, clay projects that I did. And I think that would be fun. We could do a whole workshop on castles. I would love to do that.
And that was with Harley Munger.
No,
Oh,
no, that was with Jim Shug.
yes, it was. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Jim Shug made the castles.
Jim's great.
Yeah, but it was actually all together at RHS, which was the Rural Human Services in Crescent City, California, had a really wonderful program going when I was about in sixth grade or so.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would go there after school, and it was really wonderful. Me and at least a couple other friends, Vanessa and Annie, I remember really loved the RHS program too. There was a lot of regulars, Tiffany, there's a lot of people that I remember going through the programs through the years and just like really enjoying and appreciating all of the art and the little programs. I think we had a lot. I was very fortunate, I think, in that town to have a lot of really great art and culture programs.
It offered a lot. It was a great little town, Crescent City is.
Mm-hmm.
The Danaka, I went to work for them, being an artist in the schools, artist in residence with grant programs, and it was a fabulous experience. Holly Austin is the one that got me started in all of that, and
Thank you, Holly.
that was going around to all of the different schools and doing different types of workshops with all the kids. And then she landed me a job at Crescent Elk in the middle school for nearly 5 years. I had my own pottery shop downstairs and ran every child in the school through the program every year for
Yeah.
all that time. And
Well, I
luckily
was
Hannah was
middle
in school, so
at the time, and so that was a really fun thing to have just right there. And so all through school, I was able in while I was in middle school, I made that mural. Hopefully, it's still there today. The Crescent Elk mural. I just drew it up in my sketchbook one day, and I was like in the sixth grade, and had this like little doodle basically, and I was working with Harley Munger and mom and everyone else in the like clay community there at the time that I could. And so we made this mural and installed it right across from the principal's office, which looking back is like really amazing. Like to have like left my mark. So I think it says I have a picture of Vanessa and my best friend. We have a picture of us in the mural, and because we did a lot of work and doing it. So we did a lot of things. I also ended up working in Smith River with Harley, doing like it was pre-made tiles that were glazed, and we did handprints, and Then we like drew all kinds of designs on them with after school kids, and then the after school kids were pretty much responsible for like, you know, this decoration project, this tile decoration project that happened. So that was really cool. That, I think, also really cool looking back, was my first real job. Like, it was paid like through the school
Yes,
district
it
and
was.
everything. It was really, really neat.
It was.
I was very fortunate to like have that path. So we have a lot of combined teaching experience. Me mostly, you know, on the teacher's assistant end, being like, you know, supplemental throughout all the different, you know, because I was growing up with the programs, and then of course mom. Then Talking Crow Studio is its own story. We opened up a little shop. Mom did, really. I say we because I was getting like high school. It was I like in 8th grade or something? I can't remember exactly.
Well, we only had it open for maybe 3 years.
But
Or
by the
so.
time you closed it, I was back
You were
from
in
Argentina.
Argentina,
So
yeah.
that was, you know, high school. I suppose that was through high school.
And
Yeah, we had
Talking
that
Crow
open.
Studio was in the harbor of Crescent City, and it was a working studio for people to come and work day use or memberships. We had at least 7 potter's wheels going, and
I
we
remember
had-
like a dozen.
well, we had more in the closet, but we didn't have room to put them all out.
I remember we had
So-
like 3 clusters of 3 at least at one time.
It was-
you know, maybe 4. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a lot of potter's wheels going on, so I ended up doing a lot of the teaching, you know,
Yes.
in the open studio, just like, you know, just being one step ahead of someone at an early age is like, oh, it's a little strange to be teaching people of all ages from a young age, but I really enjoy it because, you know, it's really that pure joy of the clay art and all that you can do with it. And I think we had like really young, like we might have had like 3-year-old birthday parties or something.
We had birthday parties of all ages,
All
come
ages,
in and do
and then
workshops.
I think
Mhm.
you know our oldest like member, we had members that could come in and
Oh,
do the
yeah.
was I can't, was it Elizabeth or something
She
like
was
that?
wonderful. She was like,
The sweetest little old lady who was pretty much debilitated in a nursing home, and then the daughter,
the daughter was Elizabeth.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So she brought her out and yeah, pretty much got her back into doing art clay and brought her into the studio, and I don't, was she in her 80s?
Yes, she was in her 80s.
And she was
Yeah.
like the tiniest little cutest old thing, like over the wheel, and so happy about everything she made because like they had her, oh my god, I'm like tearing up because they had her believing that she like couldn't do anything anymore in the nursing home, and then they were like, whoa, we get her out of there, and then it was just like you just saw her like come back to life. And that was, so all ages, like, you know, we want to be gearing this towards homeschool kids. We worked with a lot of homeschool kids at Talking Crow. Actually, a lot of friends that are my age came through the program and were able to get like elective credits through our shop. So that was really cool. Yeah. And then fast forward, I moved out here to Hawaii in 2013. And shortly after, you came on out, and I don't know when did you move out here
I've been out
officially?
here almost 5 years now.
So what year did you come out
Let's
here?
see, must have been 15.
So a couple
Yeah.
years later, you came out, and
Came
then
out.
2016, we opened up House of Fire, which is this little shop here. Yeah, amazing local artists. I had gotten to know so many wonderful people in the community, and so we just, and so many people depend on markets and all that. You know, there's so much more to do with online, you know, putting products online, but we're gonna focus on some online classes for now. And then, you know, I'd love to get everything online. It's such a huge project, but it's in the works.